I reread it. Wait, Geshama has a thing here. No?
But this is also why, because with this feeling, I'm more comfortable with the correct nature science, but the privation then is even more absurd for me when it comes to correct effect science, which we talked about last week. That's even more difficult than to find them not existing in all the discordant classes.
Yeah.
Because there's not that direct relation of.
Yeah, it's not so clear cut. Yeah. Also, yeah. Anyways, I really don't know. I find this one very fascinating, but also very intriguing.
Because this was one of my problems in university. I always asked them about how do you prove something in all the scientific philosophy behind it. They basically end up saying you can't prove anything, you can only disprove something. Because they can't really find this.
Okay, so Henrik, then the only thing that I can say is that in the Buddhist texts, they're trying to answer this question very much. And here, like this is just one of many. But in Gyaltsab Rinpoche's text, he goes on a tangent here.
Krishna, bring some water, please. Yeah. You can't go on like this.
Okay, thank you. Here. He goes on a tangent, so it's verse 17 of the Pramana Vartika, the first chapter. 17.
Yeah, but this first chapter.
This is all PR for the upcoming program.
That was so Italian. Thanks, Paula. So in verse 17, Dharmakirti says something. And so here, just so that you know, okay, so verse 16, my God, yeah, yes. Verse 16 says, just because, don't write it, I'm just telling you how the thing comes up.
This is chapter 1.
Chapter 1. Verse 16 says, just because you do not see the sign, because you do not see the sign to exist in the discordant class, is not sufficient proof to say, that it does not exist in the discordant class, and it will become a cause for doubt, and it will become a sign with remainder. You remember those false signs? The false signs are the ones that have with remainder, that within the false signs there was the what was the ones? Contradictory signs, and then there was the non-ascertaining. Within the non-ascertaining there was the signs with remainder. I know none of you remember any of this. You're looking totally blank. You remember? Vaguely. There's signs with remainder. The remainder over here is you still have left to be sure that it doesn't exist in the discordant class. Okay? So the verse 16 says, after a debate with his own teacher. Remember I told you Dharmakirti is debating with his own teacher? With his own teacher who gives a different definition for a correct sign, Dharmakirti says, just you not seeing it to exist, or you not having seen it in the discordant class, doesn't mean that it is sufficient for you to say it is not in to know that it is not in the discordant class. It is still a cause for doubt, and therefore it is known as a false sign with remainder. Verse 17 says, that is why in the definition of a correct sign, we say ascertain. Yeah? So he says, the reason, so that verse reads, in the definitions of the three modes, the reason why we use the word ascertain is to remove the possibility that it is a contradictory sign, non-ascertained sign, or a non-established sign. So ascertain is what makes you know that it is not in the discordant class. Mere not seeing is not enough. Now that's all Dharmakirti says in the root verse. I don't remember what he says in the auto commentary. Now one sec, Dharmakirti saying this has led to, in this text, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of digression. You can see the kind of font. It's tiny. Okay? This is just Gyaltsab. Penchen Rinpoche goes on to another whole tangent. So this, if you want to know how the Buddhists are trying to go about showing, and how can you ascertain that it doesn't exist in any of the discordant classes? That's the problem over here. So even when you're talking with normal people, they say, well, how can you say it doesn't exist in any? You can't go and check each one individually, right? So then at most you can check a few and see it's not there, and you can somewhat assume that that's how it's going to be. But how do you say it's not in any? This is the proof here. These, like, so from page 44 to 47. Okay? This is where they talk about it. This is something that, I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying the question that you're saying you have has been addressed, and you'll find it in this. Now, where is there a translation? I don't know.
No, that's
I'm just telling you that they've tried to address it, okay?
I mean, someone from the low class once asked me if how I can live with the doubts and still trust the text.
Yeah.
And for me, a very, very good thing is just to hear that my doubt has been thought about by one of the authors of the text.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then that,
Heavily.
because sometimes when you have a doubt and the teachers have never heard about it before, then it's iffy. But
Gempa,
to know that it's been addressed,
well,
I can relax it.
you like Gempadan Rabal, like, right? Gempadan Rabal has written a text on this. Gen has written a separate text called The Three Modes. And the section where he discusses forward pervasion, he goes off on a huge tangent. Gen's, I think, is even more than 13 pages. Gen's might be like 20, 30 pages, where he's just explaining how all of this works. So it's a very central feature of Pramana. Yeah? And it's the main issue that Dharmakirti had with his teacher. He said you have to say it's in none. You can't say I don't see it, most people don't see it, the majority of it is not there. That's not enough. You have to know it's in none. How do you go about it? And then it's really been discussed. Now, like I've been saying, this first chapter. That's why it's such an important chapter. But again, why it's not done, I don't know.
But we are doing it in this.
I have to do it, yeah, apparently.
I talked to another one quite recently who talked about having done the first chapter. She only had complaints. It was so many words, the second chapter is so much more fun. So
I'm
I think
very
a lot of
worried.
people don't enjoy
I'm
it.
very, very worried, man. Like,
Nobody wants to listen to
so worried. I'm really worried about this. I don't know how it's going to be. Actually, for Duda and Tariq, I'm very relaxed. But I'm really worried about this first chapter.
When will it be?
I think, I was speaking to Gen today, so the plan is at least that by end October, we'll finish Duda. Yeah, we want to finish Duda by end October. Tariq will do longer, and Gen has a very different way of doing Duda. So we're experimenting this time. So we'll do Duda differently. And then Tariq will be all of November. And probably this will be the last 2 weeks of December.
So then will come.
No, it's me. Hello, I'm here. I'm the only. It's just me. That's what I'm saying. I was again, maybe this is something you should have taken on, no, as a responsibility. No, Gen won't be here. But Gen will come for debate till the end of the month. In the evenings he'll come, and every Wednesday he's saying that he'll actually do a class with all of us till the 30th. So it'll be nice. But just once a week, and then debate he'll pop in now and then. Yeah. Okay, can we do yours? I mean, there's 9 minutes left.
Everybody's Spanish. Just so proud.
I think we can even just look at it like this. So I was with Gen at lunch and I asked Gen, and Gen also said this. So I think you have to make sense of it yourself eventually. But I think the reason why it's important is like this. So the debate that's coming is, we've refuted that the body is a substantial cause of mind. Done. We've refuted that it is a cause that is indispensable for the body, for the mind also. That's what he's done, right? Dharmakirti's done two things. He's saying it's definitely not a substantial cause, because if you can see a change in the consciousness without seeing a change in the body, that is not a substantial cause. It's not an indispensable cooperative condition for all the reasons that have been given. At which point, the only thing that's left is, it's not a cause, but it still has to be there for there to be consciousness. That's all that you can say. That's all that's left, correct? If it's not a cause, that precedes it, because it's neither a cooperative condition, nor is it a substantial cause. So I'm assuming that I mean, one assumes that we've done this and we've addressed these 2 points, why it's not a substantial cause and why it's not a cooperative condition. Having done that, the remaining doubt is, but it has to go with the consciousness hand in hand.
It aids it, so what would that?
It aids its abiding.
So, but it, what?
So what they are calling it in this verses, it is a simultaneous cause for abiding. That's what they're saying.
But can any cause be simultaneous?
It's a, so that's they're saying that. So you'll notice that the terminology of causes in Buddhist texts, after a lot of elaboration, they say there's causes have to be preceding. What happened?
I mean, this abiding is.
So then if it is causes have to be preceding?
No, no, no. So, no, but that, you can't approach it like that. You can't say you're wrong because we Buddhists say there's only 2 kinds. You can't do that. So the question here is, can there be anything that is simultaneous that helps abiding, helps another thing abide? And the way the Buddhists are seeing it is, let's assume that it's true. Let's assume that it's true for a second. Okay? This is my take on it. This is because I've thought about it a lot, and Gen kind of said, you don't really need to do that. So I was like, okay, fine. You don't have to do this. So you don't have to do what we're doing. But if you want to, you have something that has been produced. Okay? Now it's abiding. Is there anything that is simultaneous with it that helps it abide? What do you think? Yeah?
By abiding, what do you mean? But something,
Remain.
anything, or is it
Anything.
a product or a mind?
Anything, Paula, because it gives the example of it even gives an example of a pot afterwards. So literally anything. For anything to be somewhere, does it rely on anything that is simultaneous with it? That's what the question is.
But abiding again, sorry, is it disintegrating or is it?
Right now we're looking at abiding, then disintegration comes in as a default afterwards.
But what is abiding?
Abiding is to remain.
Just remain.
Yeah.
So it's an interim between the arising and disintegrating in between is that the meaning?
Why are you adding that extra masala?
I don't know what abiding means.
Abiding means remaining. Are you sitting somewhere?
Yes.
Yes. So the cause of you sitting there, is there anything that is simultaneous with you that is helping you sit?
Yes.
That's not possible, is what Dharmakirti is saying. That's precisely what Dharmakirti is saying. The cushion that you're sitting on, that cushion that you're sitting on that you think is helping you stay there, is not the cushion that is simultaneous with you. That's what Dharmakirti's point is.
So what is the cushion that is simultaneous?
So first look at the problems with if it was the cushion that was simultaneous with you. And then come to the conclusion of what it is. That's how the text proceeds. The text says, if the cause for your abiding was simultaneous, then the abiding is the abiding a function that or an action that you are doing or that other thing is doing. Pritika's abiding, is it being done by Pritika or is it being done by the cushion? If it's being done by Pritika, then why does it need the cushion? You're already abiding. Why do you need the cushion?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So then that's the answer to Pritika. So then it's not the cushion that's making you abide, right? You're already abiding. So the cushion is not doing it.
So the mind abiding, the body does allow us to function in the world in a way if we
That's fine, but is it the body that is simultaneous with the mind?
simultaneous with this particular mind abiding with this.
Is it simultaneous with the body? The body that is enabling the mind to function, is it the body that is simultaneous with the mind? Agree? The fact that you're not falling through the earth in this moment, is it by the cushion that is simultaneous with you? That action that are you abiding?
Yes.
Are you doing that action of abiding?
Yes.
Is the cushion doing the action of your abiding?
Right.
It's not. So then why do you need the cushion to abide?
Just to be more comfortable while
No, the abiding. We're not talking about comfort, we're talking about abiding. That's what it's saying. If something else is needed for it to abide, then the thing is not abiding by itself. Correct? Right? Now, the next step he says is, if it's not abiding by itself, then it's also not disintegrating by itself. Right? So then it's permanent. No, the abiding makes it stay because there's something simultaneous or something else other than the thing that makes it abide. Similarly, there is something other than it that makes it disintegrate. That's what they say, right? So it's both abiding and disintegrating, but it is something other than the thing that is making it abide and making it disintegrate. Is the action of abiding being done by the thing if there is something else? No. Like the cause for the action of arising is not done by the thing, right? It's done by something else. So the arising is not something that the thing does. If it needs something else for it to arise, then the action of arising has to be elsewhere. Yes? If the action of abiding requires something else, then the abiding action is, there's another thing, the agent of abiding is doing the abiding, right? So there's something, so this thing is then not abiding anymore. This is doing the abiding, so then this will carry on. Similarly, if the disintegration is not being done by the thing itself and something else is making it do it, then this thing is not disintegrating. Also, what is the meaning of abiding? Abiding means that it makes it remain until something makes it disintegrate. Well then, until it disintegrates, it's not until something makes it disintegrate, it's not disintegrating. Therefore, again, it's permanent. If, however, you see change and you see something remaining, and you see something changing, and it cannot be something other than it that makes that happen, then the only thing that makes it remain and the only thing that makes it disintegrate are the causes that gave it that quality. So things that preceded it. That's what they seem to say. So if you read Khalsa Brahmacha's commentary, when you put water, like here, the water in this cup is sitting in this cup. The cup that is simultaneous with the water is not doing anything to make the water remain in the cup. The water is remaining in the cup. The water sitting in the cup is done by the water. What allows the water to sit in the cup? Is it the cup? Yes. Which cup? The one that's simultaneous? No. The one that is before. That's what the answer here is.
No, the one that was before.
The one that precedes it. That's what Dharmakirti is saying. So now if you look at your text, Khalsa Rinpoche says this here.
You mean because
Huh?
the cup is
Did the cup
momentarily
thing not
changing?
anything?
Is that
70. Look at Geshe-Ma's 70. Geshe-Ma's. No. So I think the verse numbers are different here.
In the root text it talks about the
It
water.
is 13 in the
Container?
Yeah, that one.
13 in the, I think, term 9 or something.
One sec.
69
69 and 70.
and 70, a container can be a
Yeah, where is that? What page?
Page 22 of Geshe-Ma's.
Yeah,
No,
but
no.
69 to 70, page 13, in
13.
term, 8th term, page 13. If it did not assist, it would not be reasonable.
Yeah. Since it prevents
the
water from pouring out, it is the base of water here. See here, you can see. No, wait. It will be in the commentary before. Just see the commentary. Here. So you'll see here. Look at page 12, the commentary. Suppose someone says, just for instance, the support of water. You see that in Geshe-Ma's commentary?
Suppose, yeah. Top of that page
12.
At the bottom
Can you just show it to Henrik, please?
68b.
Andres, you have it? Okay. See the commentary. Suppose someone says, just it is established by direct perception that earth, for instance, is the base that affects the abiding of already established water, so is the body also the base of the mind. Yeah? Dharmakirti says this has the same flaws. It follows that a vessel does not affect the abiding of already established water. Yeah? Because this assertion has the same flaws as those cited in the previous case. Someone says, well then, why is a vessel, water vessel, known in the world as the base of water? Yeah? You see that?
Yeah.
Read. Response. We're reading only the commentary, huh? Regarding the subject, a water vessel, it is the base of the water inside, since it is the cause generating the later continuum of functioning entities. The moments of water inside it that naturally disintegrate in each moment are in the same location as the earlier functioning entity water. So each previous moment of the pot is the abiding cause for the water inside the pot. It is never the pot that is simultaneous with the water. Shmuel is back. When you put a TP and you have two sticks that are leaning on each other, they are not simultaneously assisting each other standing up. It is the previous instance of this stick that helps this stick stay up, and the previous instance of this stick that helps this stick stay up. Because for something to function and act on something else, according to the Buddhists, there has to be a transference of action. And the transference for action requires temporal differences, right? So you cannot have simultaneous benefit. If that is the case, then for consciousness to abide, it only needs its causes. If in the causes, the substantial causes are consciousness, and matter is not indispensable, then there is no room for further doubt that at the time of death, if you have the causes for continuously making consciousness go forward, there will 100% be a next moment of consciousness. Therefore, when you die, you will be able to continue practicing great compassion, and hence from great compassion you can go to teacher, the second point. Got it? Yeah? Is that okay? So that's how this kind of is closing it.
So it completely does away with the body.
This one is like very definitive. In the causes, there's no chance it's happening. Simultaneous, even more absurd. If it's not simultaneous, it's not preceding, the body has no benefit in the existence of the mind. None. At that point, if at the last moment, the indispensable cause for the next moment is there, you can be 100% will move forward. Not only in each moment, the fact that it remains is only due to the previous moment, and the fact that it disintegrates is only due to the previous moment. That's what's being said. Now, can you just stop it? This is just, yeah.